Hey guys, this is Justin. Hello and welcome to another video. So I wanted to get this late night upload out, even if it was a little bit shorter, just because discussion about one aspect of the new Acolyte trailer has basically been non-stop. And to put it short, people are concerned that this show is going to break Star Wars lore, specifically that it will violate what we learn in this scene from The Phantom Menace.
Impossible. The Sith have been extinct for a millennium.
So yeah, in Star Wars, we know by the time of the prequels that the Sith have been thought extinct by the Jedi Order for a millennia. In Legends, we know that it was the Battle of Ruusan where the Sith disappeared. Darth Bane used the Rule of Two to bring them into the shadows. We don't know exactly how things will work in Star Wars Legends, but obviously the general principle remains the same. A lot of people, however, are misunderstanding both the context of this scene and the greater relationship between the Jedi and the Sith. First of all, the most basic and surprising, I think, misunderstanding is that obviously Ki-Adi-Muni was wrong here. The Sith were not extinct, they were simply in hiding. That's why Darth Maul tells Palpatine that at last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi and at last we will have our revenge. They've been hiding in the shadows, getting stronger for 1,000 years, basically preparing for this eventuality. I think a lot of people, however, understand that. I mean, if you watch the movie, pretty obvious. However, the other misconception that I've seen is that, well, anyone now who runs into someone using a red lightsaber has to die, or that the Acolyte or whoever it is using the Force powers cannot be discovered by the Jedi Council. Now, is that an approach the show might take? Definitely. It's one way to keep things pretty safe. However, one thing that people misunderstand is the relationship between the Jedi and the Sith. Sith is not a synonym for Darksider. You don't simply become a Sith upon using a red lightsaber or using the dark side of the Force. Just like the Jedi do not have dominion on the light side, the Sith do not have dominion on the dark. The Sith are specifically a sect which stood for all time basically in opposition to the Jedi Order. The Sith have their own beliefs, they have their own practices, they ultimately have their own code and their own order, and they fought many historic wars against the Jedi. A Sith is defined as much by their lineage than their status, and that's part of the reason why the Sith are so feared and why they're so deadly. Note, when Qui-Gon Jinn encounters Darth Maul, the Sith are held by the Jedi to an almost mythical status. These are warriors made deadly because of their order, because of their training, and because of the way Sith are produced. The Jedi were not so arrogant to think that, no, there was never another Darksider in the past 1,000 years. I mean, certain Jedi even had fallen to the dark side, but that does not make them Sith. I think a good example of this is Dagan Gera. He was from the High Republic era, he fell to the dark side, he even bled his lightsaber. All of that could have happened 50 or 100 years earlier, and it wouldn't really have changed Ki-Adi-Muni's interpretation in episode 1. I mean, to a degree, he did start to fall before, but anyway, there are many ways that a red lightsaber can be explained without the Sith revealing themselves to the Jedi, and that does give the show a bit of wiggle room. I want to reiterate, I don't know whether that's the direction they'll go, but I do think it's possible that whoever is the Acolyte ends up being perhaps used by the Sith, written off by the Jedi as the Sith remain in hiding, or some situation like that where the true menace is not yet revealed. There's also the fact that, hey, the Jedi have somewhat buried their heads in the sand. That's true in The Phantom Menace. It's probably going to be true in the High Republic era. But that's all for me. Let me know, of course, your thoughts on all this and more down below.